Hello guys, this is Javelin from English Tutor Hub and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a grammar lesson and the subject is when do we use a little and when do we use a few. So let's start. Let's look at the situation where we are describing a small quantity of something. There are a few apples. There are a few watermelons. And there are a few bananas. Alright? So, the first thing that we should look at is all of these nouns. They are countable nouns. A countable noun is a noun that is a separate object. We can count a countable noun. Countable nouns can exist in a singular or a plural. Alright? That is very important. Here, of course, they are all in the plural. Apples, watermelons, bananas. So the structure is we say there are a few apples. So with countable nouns, we only use the word a few. And since here we are talking about the plural, then the noun must be in the plural form. So we have an S, and so of course the verb must be in the plural form. So we say there are a few apples, and it is the same with watermelons. It is the same with watermelons. There are a few watermelons. It's a countable noun in the plural. So we add an S, watermelons. And the verb is also in the plural form. There are a few watermelons. And finally, it is the same with bananas. We put the noun in the plural form. We add an S, and the verb, we put it in the plural form. There are. So this gives us our first rule. The rule is that we use a few to describe a small quantity of a countable noun. So, if the noun is a countable noun, we must only use a few. Alright? We do not use a little with countable nouns. So, let's carry on. Let's move on to describing a small quantity number 2. There is a little water. There is a little sauce. There is a little tea. But this time, all of these nouns, they are uncountable nouns. Alright? Uncountable nouns. We cannot count uncountable nouns. They are not separate objects. Often, they are a large mass of something, or they are often a liquid and they exist only in singular. That is very, very important. So, when we have an uncountable noun, we must only use a little. Alright? We do not use a few. And since an uncountable nouns can only be singular, then the verb is also singular. So we say, there is a little water. We do not say, there are a little water, and the noun stays in the singular form. And it is the same here. There is a little sauce. The noun stays in the singular. We don't say sauces. And the verb is in the singular form. There is a little sauce. Alright? And the same here. There is a little tea. Tea is an uncountable noun, and the verb stays in the singular form. There is. So the rule is, we only use a little to describe a small quantity of an uncountable noun. Alright? That is very important. We do not use a little to describe a small quantity with a countable noun. Alright? It's very important. Just something else which is important is a little. We are not talking about the size. We are not talking about the size of the water. For example, we are talking about the quantity, the small quantity, because little is also an adjective. But here we are not using it to describe the size. We are using a little to describe small quantity of an uncountable noun. So the summary, these two rules are easy. It's easy to know when to use a little and when to use a few. If we know the difference between an uncountable noun and a countable noun. So when you learn a new noun, you must also learn if it is a countable or uncountable. Alright? So let's do an exercise. Proceed to our exercise number 1. Choose a little or a few to fill in the space for the sentence to complete. Number 1. I have blank meat left in the fridge. There is blank milk in the glass. He drank blank wine yesterday. They saw blank people inside the restaurant. I need blank pens to give to the students. Can I have blank bread, please? There are only blank students left in the classroom. John has blank books in his backpack. Exercise number 2. So it's the same. Choose a little or a few to fill in the space for the sentence to complete. There's blank rice in the fridge if you get hungry. I borrowed blank movies from my friend. She usually eats blank things in the morning. Just write blank pages for me, will you? There are blank toys in the basket. I have blank work to do tonight. I invited only blank friends for my birthday. And here is the answers, guys, for your reference. Alright? So, there you go. That's the end of this lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Visit englishtutorhub.com for a full transcript of this tutorial and some other lessons that you might be interested in. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and let me know your thoughts and questions. Love to hear from you. See you soon. Thank you very much.